Hi, my name is Emily Iannelli, and it's been a pretty difficult week now for me. A lot of things are happening, and it's only complicated by this recent car accident that I've been involved in. I'm trying to figure out how best to get back on my feet since I'm without car. Still have a balance owing on the car. I have 5.5 years remaining. I have no car. It's totaled as a result of my recent accident, which was not my fault. And I would go as far as saying it was mechanical failure. But unfortunately, I can't find an attorney to prove that. So I spoke to one attorney and he said I'm lucky that I have gap insurance. I'm not really familiar with all of the technicalities, but based on what he told me, that when the insurance company determines what is going to be paid out on the accident, gap insurance will step in to cover the difference between the valued price and the total of the loan. So I'm assuming, because I don't know any better, that this loan that I have right now with no car now, and it's not my fault, this total loss of my vehicle will somehow be paid to Toyota. I would imagine they get all the proceeds paid out by the insurance company. The thing is, I need to know that. Nobody's really communicating with me. I'm trying to be as proactive as I can be. But I'm nervous. I'm anxiety stricken. I'm unable to sleep. I have a rental car based on my conversation with the insurance rep. Initially, I didn't want to rent, but obviously I needed to because I have to go to doctor appointments. I have to take my son to his, and I had to go to the collision and body shop to take my possessions from the car. So I need it for the time being, and I don't know, I don't even think I really have much time with that rental, obviously, maybe a month at most. And then I gotta figure out what to do when the car is returned, what's gonna happen with this settlement thing. I believe that I'm not gonna see anything from it. It's all gonna go to Toyota. So realistically, there's no way I can get a car, even a second-hand car. And most likely I won't be able to afford the insurance anyway. So now I have to get used to a new and much more difficult situation of not being able to drive. And I'm isolated and depressed enough, and now to have this I have to deal with, not being able to get around anywhere. I mean, what else do I have to go through? I'm tired of hearing people say, well, God wouldn't give us more than what we can handle. Well, I think that's a whole lot of nonsense because I can't handle anymore. I have a son who's not doing well emotionally, 20 years old. He's not able to go to school. He's not able to do anything. And I love my son. I'm trying to be as sympathetic as I can be. But the reality is he just can't stay here for the rest of his life. He's going to have to go somewhere, and it's going to have to be a group home, and he doesn't want to go. So now I got to go to the courts and have him declared legally incompetent. And, to me, this is very difficult emotionally to have my son declared incompetent. And he goes on as if this is where he's going to be for the rest of his life, not realizing I'm going to die soon. And God forbid, suppose I died in that car accident last week. I mean, I do have a life insurance policy, so if that was the case, my wife would get the $1 million that they could help Matthew in getting his life together. But I'm still here. I guess God wants me to be here for whatever reasons, I don't know. And I wish I knew what I could do to make things better for my son. But if I can't even feel good about my own life, how the heck am I going to help my son, Trying to do the right things. I've gone through so much, I can't. I'm depressed also because I haven't worked in a long time. I worked for many years in the accounting profession, almost 30 years. I felt like there were good jobs that I had and there were jobs that I didn't really care for, but I had to make a living. I never found the passion in whatever I did through my working career. I was not lucky enough to find the passion. And I've only soon discovered that my real passion lies in writing. Because writing gives me a sense of what I am and how do I tap into who I truly am. It allows me to dig deep and share things that I could never share in conversation. But I can dig down deep inside of me and bring it out through my writing, through my videos, through my sound recordings. Life is not easy, but I thought it could be tolerable. And now I really can't tolerate this, And, people wonder why did I attempt suicide in January? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I struggle with depression, severe depression. Depression that makes you want to hide from the rest of the world. Depression that is so deep inside you, it's like a wound in your heart. Nobody knows what depression is unless they face it themselves. And I'm so tired of people who think that you can just snap your fingers, change your mindset, and think that it will be cured, because it won't. Cancer is worse. If anything is worse, I would think cancer is worse than depression. But depression is a close second, because depression robs your vitality in your life. Depression makes you feel like giving up. Depression has taken the lives of so many good people. Depression is horrible. It is not understood. Society hasn't come around to realize how serious depression is. If I could go on a speaking circuit and tell people how to try your best to cope, I would have to do research, because I live with depression and I try to deal with it on my own terms. But whatever I do to help doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help someone else. If I listen to YouTube videos for a few hours, that makes me feel better. For someone else, it may be reading a book. Somebody else, it may be going swimming in the pool. We're all different, and we're all trying to face how to minimize our depression as best we could, knowing that it is a lifelong struggle. And not only do I struggle with depression, I also struggle with my gender, which I've been struggling with since age 3. I have been dealing with heartache and pain, especially regarding my son's struggles with autism. I'm isolated. My son is isolated. I have very little time to enjoy life because I'm so wrapped up in my head about all these things that are bothering me and troubling me. I'm worried about this house not being with us much longer because I won't be able to afford it. I just got a notice in the mail that my mortgage payments have been increased by $200 additionally a month, and I have no relief. I have nothing to cushion against unless I stop living, stop going to movies, stop eating, find the $200 from that so I could pay the mortgage, the extra $200. Yeah, right. Like I want to stop living. Now I don't have a car, so I don't have to worry about gas money anymore. I don't have to worry about insurance payments anymore. And hopefully this gap insurance thing will work out so I don't have to worry about car payments anymore. But what the fuck good is that? I still need a car to get around. Otherwise, what am I going to do? Call Uber every time I need to go out of the house? Or walk 3 miles to get my prescriptions? What kind of life is that? I'd rather be dead. That's life, right? Give me a break. And people say, oh, you have to try to look on the bright side. You tell me what the bright side is when you're fucking trapped in your own goddamn house and you're ready to have mortgage company come and take your house away. What kind of enjoyment is that? I'd rather die. Maybe I should have died in that fucking accident. I'm not looking for pity from anybody. I'm just so frustrated. Nothing goes right. I love my son so much and he's not going anywhere. I have to put him in a group home. I'm going to be separated from him, my wife. I was supposed to have surgery. I don't even care if it happens anymore. I don't know. What's the whole point? My sisters don't give a shit. If I found out that my sister was in a very bad car accident, I'd be on the phone trying to say the things that make me love my sister, trying to help her through this difficult time. You think they care about me? They wouldn't even call me. They wouldn't even know I was in the accident unless I physically told them or messaged them. And we're on Facebook. It's like she doesn't even look at my posts, it seems. I'm just so tired. Tired of being ignored and, I'm just, why do I even have to live if nobody even cares, I'm not like seeking pity or anything, but I feel like my life has no purpose. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to wish me good luck in my recovery. Nobody wants to do anything. I have a few friends who are nice to me. I'm not going to say names, but hopefully they know who I'm talking about. But I've had it, I've had enough, Yeah, God gives you more. God, what is it? I just said it. God will never give you more than you can handle. Well, I'm raising my white flag because I have too much to handle that I can't handle. So please, God, give me a break. I cannot handle all of this. I'm going to crash, I can't even go out now. I can't even go walking around a mall now because I have no car to get there. No company's gonna insure me now. They're gonna say I'm high risk. I can't even afford a car. So what is my life gonna be like now? I don't have any social life. I don't have a working life. Sure, I'm happy inside, but what good is that happiness inside if your whole life is halted because of hatred, discrimination? They don't understand transgender society, doesn't understand depression society. They don't care about people, what's inside. You know, all they care about is performance, getting the job done, which I agree. I've done it for almost 30 years, but I'm not well right now, and I don't know if I'll ever be well to be able to commit to a 40 to 50 hour a week job under tremendous stress. When I was working in taxes, I worked taxis and I would work close to 60, maybe even more hours per week for an intensive period of 4 to 5 months. I can't do that anymore. You know, and my disability income, one part is going to terminate eventually, and the other part may be affected by this administration now in Washington. So I just don't know how I'm going to survive like this. I'm very depressed. You know, I don't know. I'm like sending out the white flag. You know, I love people. You know, I would never want to hurt anybody. I guess I hurt myself the most. I have to learn how to live and try to help Matthew and do things the right way. I guess I really don't know how to find peace. I wish I did. But, you know, I can talk all that I want. You know, I wish I had ideas. I wish I knew how to build a business. I wish I had entrepreneurial spirit, but I don't know what I could do, basically. All I know is doing taxes, working in an accounting environment. I'm 7 years removed from that, though, and the very few tax returns I do doesn't pay my bills. So I'm competent. I know my tax laws, you know, and they all changed anyway last year with this stupid supposed tax cut for America bullshit. I don't know. I've been very disheartened, discouraged. And when Trump came into office, it's been worse. I guess, well, I don't even want to think what's going to happen in the next 4 years. All I know is I hope he's not part of it. Life isn't easy for me, and I am very tired. You know, I am grateful I survived this car accident. I mean, when I look at the pictures I took at the crash site and the overwhelming emotion I felt, and I was lucky that the receptionist was there as I was looking at the car, and she saw I was crying, and she came up to me and gave me a big hug, which I needed. You know, I mean, a car is a machine, an object. Unfortunately, that machine failed me, and I paid the price. I'm emotionally devastated. I have no car, and the car is destroyed. Luckily, I didn't hit anybody due to my reflexes, luckily. Otherwise, it would have been a catastrophe. So, I I guess you could say I saved people's lives by taking quick action to avoid hitting this car in front of me, which then prevented the car behind me getting involved in an accident, because there was no accident between me and the other car. So the only accident was me swerving and crashing into the trees. Luckily that was it, and I survived. Maybe God needs me here, I guess. Maybe, obviously, for Matthew. But you know, I don't want to live a life of pain on a daily basis. I need to find some measure of happiness. You know, I do go out with some friends, I sing, you know, but you know, once I have to return that rental car, I have no way of getting around places. And I'm not gonna keep calling Uber to get me places. I have to see doctors, you know, and if I do this surgery, which is supposed to be in September, that's 3 months on my back, resting, recovering. And if I have no car to drive, how am I going to get to doctor appointments? Especially given my weakened physical state. As far as now goes, I'm hoping to do the surgery, so I haven't called it off. Because if I call it off now, I'm never going to do it, because it's been postponed 4 times already. So it's now or never, and September isn't that far away. And if I don't have a car either, how am I gonna get out to just separate myself from my problems? Now they'll be compounded because I can't even get out of the house. And don't humor me and say walking around the block will be helpful, because it won't. It's not like getting in your car, driving to the mall, getting a slice of pizza or something, or eating Chinese food, and then watching a movie. Now if I want to do that, I gotta walk 3 miles to the Broadway Mall. Make sure I go early in the day. I'm tired, I have to drink water so I don't dehydrate. I get my pizza or my Chinese food, watch the movie, and I can't leave any later than 7 o'clock, so I have to go to a very early movie. Whereas when I was driving, it didn't matter if I stayed late, because I could get home as late as 1 or 2 in the morning. But now, I'm not going to walk home at 1 or 2 in the morning, and I wouldn't be home until maybe 3:30 in the morning. So, you know, I just don't know. My life is getting very complicated, and I'm not enjoying it. You know, and I can't even talk to my sisters. They don't want to hear my problems. So it's all in my head. And just when I found a great LGBT center to go to in Queens, now it's in jeopardy because I have no way to get there. And I can't have Chase from Queens keep coming to my house to pick me up to go to Queens. And I have no idea how to use the subway system to go from New York City to Queens. And when am I gonna go all the way to the city and then take subways to get back to Queens? I have no idea where I would be going. I just don't know, and it doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense for Chase to come all the way from Queens to pick me up so we can go to Queens LGBT Center. So, you know, I just and then I bought tickets for the Met games. I have like 8 games left for Matthew and I can't even go to them anymore. I have no car. So now I have to give those tickets away. And I'm gonna give them to Chase. No charge, I'm gonna give it to him. I just don't want them to go to waste, you know? So, I wish I could say life was okay, but sometimes for me it's a struggle, and I'm tired of the struggle.